Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Veil. My name is Alan, and we are currently waiting for Bonezee to join us, but I just kind of wanted to give him an introduction, because Bonezee has been a great inspiration to me. He's been a good friend through this, awakening journey, through this energy healing journey. We've helped each other through a lot of things and continue to do so. But he's been doing something in secret. He didn't tell anybody about it, and he just surprised us when he graduated with his bachelor's degree from the University of Sedona International Metaphysical Ministries. So Mr. Bonezee is now our resident metaphysical minister and practitioner officially. How freaking awesome is that? His professor said his work shows an excellent degree of comprehension, and that comes to no surprise to me because the guy reads a lot of books about metaphysics and he's super engaged in this world. And for me, it's special for me because he's a little bit older. He's my dad's age, and people at that age are usually stuck in a point to where they're not going to change. They're really, once you pass the age of 35, your conditioning kind of is set in, and it's harder and harder the older you get to break out of those paradigms that you've been programmed with your entire life. So it's a huge accomplishment in my eyes, and hopefully to yours and to his. I just can't believe it. It's so surreal. It's so supernatural, metaphysical. It's amazing. And the guy knows his stuff, and he is very modest about it and humble about it, but he is super intelligent. He's like genius level IQ in my opinion, and his comprehension of the metaphysical concepts and the things that are going on during this awakening path are just astounding to me. The things that he rattles off, and it's just like nothing, and he reads a lot of books about these things. So it's only natural that progression goes into his bachelor's degree and maybe a doctoral degree too. I'm not sure how that goes. I haven't really sat down and talked to him about it yet. That's what I want to do on today's episode. But I just wanted to give you that quick introduction because I am super proud of this man, and I'll be back in a minute with him. All right, hold on. All right, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Veil. Here with the Bones. How you doing, brother?
What's happening, man? What's up? Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear
me now.
I can hear you now. We got it set up. It took a minute, but we got it. It's all good.
Yes, sir.
So, welcome back. You didn't know this, but I just recorded a little bit of an intro, kind of explaining to everybody what you've been doing with your bachelor's degree. Is it?
Yes.
From International Metaphysical Ministry of the University of Sedona and Metaphysics.
Yes.
I didn't even know that place existed. That is awesome.
Yeah, it's just part of my journey, man. I keep going down paths. One path leads to another, and I just follow the synchronicities and trust in it. And some of the places I've been and gone, like even with the schooling, I sometimes get visions of what that's the seed that this is planted a seed that's going to grow into something that some I've known intuitively for years and years and years in the back of my mind. It's like this big giant vision that I've had, but never thought would ever happen. And now all of a sudden, maybe this thing could happen. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just following, just going, let the wind blow me. And so far that's where, and I'm going further than that. I'll be taking the master's in the next few months. It's a kind of a course that you can actually cram. You can't cram it too much, but I'll have my doctoral sooner than, like what it would take. It'll take a couple of years, but I will have it. Mm-hmm. And that's the goal, and that's what I'm being pulled towards. So that's what I'm doing now. If something changes, I'll go with that. But that's where I'm at right now. I'm just sort of being guided by spirit, and listening. You know, the more in tune I get, the more I hear, and the more I hear, a lot of things don't make sense until, you know, I go down the path for 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
8 months, a year, and then I look back and I see how, you know, the simple little things that seemed so maybe, you know, like they weren't necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Now I see the necessity in them, and I see, you know, how they're applicable to the big picture. So yeah, yeah, some shit's going on in my life. And I'm
That's
about to blow
awesome.
this channel up. Now I'm a certified healer. Through this, I'm also a ordained minister. If you can imagine that. Boom.
Yeah.
So if you get married and you want the bones to do it, hit me up. And I sure hope you don't die, but I'll do your eulogy too. We'll do it in
That's awesome,
metaphysical
man.
sense. Yes,
That
sir.
that
Yes,
is
sir.
awesome. So
That's
so
actually you and your bunch. It's actually you and actually, you know, I have to attribute this. I'm going to make a video about this, a big wheel, and show the reconnection and what, you know, everything that's connected and the people that it's connected me to, and how it's caused me, you know, like a tree, you know, like, you know, has roots, and one root goes this direction for water and one goes this, and you may get more potassium over here as you travel that direction. You know, you may get more nitrogen from this way, and, you know, phosphorus over here, or whatever you're getting from wherever. But I'm absorbing it, getting it from, you know, different places, and it's connecting me to, I don't know, it's, you know, I'm starting to see how it's all unfolding for me, because I remember when I first got the reconnection, my expectations, you know, I just had some other kind of expectation, which didn't really even fit who I was. And as things have unfolded, I see now that, you know, what's meant for me. You know what I mean? So, what I wouldn't say it's a destiny, because I have free will and I can change it, but I see a whole lot more. Uh, I don't know, just a whole lot more, not opportunities, but things I never thought of before, that that a life like mine could actually benefit other people's lives. You know, like all my pain and suffering hasn't been in vain, and all the times I've climbed up from whatever I've climbed up from, you know, looking back, you know, when you're in the shit, you think, why me, why me? And then afterwards, you're even like, why did that happen to me? You know, then later on down the road, if you see that that's something that you're going to give back, or you're something that you can help somebody with, and it creates I don't know, something on your resume, that, you know, some kind of authenticity, that, you know, when somebody's struggling, they don't want to hear somebody who's never struggled try to tell them, hey, it's going to be all right. You want to see a dude who's been down and out, say, how far, you know, that's what they want to hear. How far down have you been? And then you tell them, you're like, damn, that's how far down you've been. Damn, I think I can get up. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, you know, things are making sense to me. And, you know, just like I say, the reconnection, which is part of this show, you know, this show wouldn't even be here without that.
Yeah.
That's what connected us, you know, and connected
Hmm.
me in Africa, which connected me to metaphysics. She seen something and knew that there was something that I needed, uh, some kind of validation, you know, or something that a certain, I guess you would say, archetype, or, you know, whatever needs, and I needed that. So,
Yeah, you
in
were
order for
definitely
me to
you were
feel, go ahead.
I was saying you were definitely searching for something for a long time. I could feel it, like you were trying to find your place, like you wanted to kind of do the certification for the reconnection, but it just didn't align. You know what I mean? It didn't work
Right,
out in the
right.
time. And it is, I could just kind of tell you were like, well, which direction do I go? You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
when you think about it with your mind, your 3D mind, I guess you could say it. It's really difficult because you can see all the options and you can kind of see the advantages, disadvantages, benefits, and cons to doing any of them. But it's like
yeah,
once you really let go of that and just let it come to you, it kind of just will kind of work itself out, whether it's through another person or through a group of people or however it works out, especially after having, being exposed to these reconnective healing frequencies, it kind of fast tracks all that for you, and it'll put that your path in your path, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
Mm.
Yeah, what's funny is a lot of people kind of get into this, either they were spiritual hippies to begin with, or they were people who mess with crystals, or they, done tarot cards and seances and were just interested into, or even into, paranormal things and supernatural things. And, I never really, none of that happened. I just got thrown into this by the Mandela effect, just completely. When that happened to me, I flipped everything around, and my ego stripped me completely of everything, because I didn't even know who I was anymore, because I didn't even, I was experiencing a couple different realities, maybe three, but I knew of two, and probably more than three. But it really, I don't know. So then I started on my search, and somehow I don't know how I got to reconnection. I think it's just because that's what I really believe, that this whole thing was set up a long time ago by all of us. We all agreed Case would come here. He's the reconnector. We all agreed that we'd somehow find him, and then we would find each other, and then people would find us, and who knows what's going to happen? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's an
So
interesting
this is
story right
really, to
there.
be honest with you, this is the beginning stages of who knows what. It's you know how I looked on I want to know how many modalities healing there was here about 2 weeks ago, because I'm prepping for a video that I'm about to do that has to do with healing. And a lot of people think that healing is really all placebo, and that it's really, and there's a book here by Joseph Murphy, How Subconscious Mind, and it really is the belief system and the shift of belief that causes the healing. But there's also, I've got this story I'm going to tell about this summer. It's a practitioner. Because even when the person or object doesn't, or animal or whatever, doesn't know that you're doing the healing, if you heal that animal, I'm going to tell the story about these squirrels, dude. It's a good little story. But anyway, and it happened for real with me. And man, I had this conversation with God. You know how I am, man. I have conversation with trees, God, squirrels, all kinds of shit, right? So, and it's real. It's real. I'm telling you, elementals and consciousness, everything. It's in everything. It's what keeps us going. But anyway, what the hell is my story? Oh, I was going to do this. So I'm looking up the modalities of healing, and they're talking about, but they went into depth about reconnective healing. They talk about all types of healing, which the type of healing that I'll be doing is similar to what reconnective healing is. It's just bringing in frequencies, working with energy, almost the same thing, just not trained in the same way. You guys are trained more of an acupunctural or, ley line stuff. Anyway,
Ley line, yeah.
yeah. So anyway, my point is, they talked about the scientific research on it, how they've actually tested with certain electronic equipment. They've tested how the frequencies in the room will change when the people come in and they bring these frequencies in. That it's a measurable change, scientifically can be measured. That it's been measured, that the Earth is in a different frequency, that there are these new frequencies, that this is accessible. And when Dr. Eric Pearl brought this to the light, a lot of big schools, man, started studying it, and it's still being researched, and it's still being, the practitioners everywhere are starting to do this. I was called to be reconnected, but I have not felt a calling to be a reconnected healer. I'm not sure that healing is exactly, even though that's what I'll be doing, I'm not sure that that's that type of healing. I think my healing is going to come with eventually, this is what it looks like to me. This is what it looks like. And eventually I'll be working with people who are abused and addicted, and more in a counseling type of situation. In that degree, more of a you know, but that's down the road. That's what I see. That's what I see.
Yeah,
Is more where I sit down and talk with people, and we have meetings or monthly meetings, and we kind of work through some things. And then I use all the modalities that I know about, techniques, whether it be, you know, Hoponopono or breathing techniques, or the Wim Hof technique, or Reconnective technique, or energy, or Reiki, or whatever, and maybe try to, you know, customize and fit what may fit, you know, this person, see if we can, you know, because some people, especially people who suffer PTSD, and this is another thing I'm going into, is this psilocybin is these dudes coming back from the war, and people who've been extremely abused. There's certain breathing techniques. There's, you know, you can take mushrooms. There's different things that you can do, and they're starting to find out. There's neuroscience in this right now that there's deep healing in people who are really, really screwed up. And and the mushroom, the psilocybin shit is starting to finally be, you know, schools are really starting to take to this and start to see the benefits. Addicted people are really extremely addicted. One extreme dose can change your life, you know. So I don't know where I'm going. All I know is I'm just kind of keeping myself open, reading, learning, and going and going and going. And who knows where I'm going to go.
Just to keep learning, man. Keep learning.
Right.
Keep building the base of knowledge and building those new neural highways in your mind. And all that information is going to amount to a wealth of knowledge that you're not even gonna, you know, fully
What's crazy,
grasp how much you know, because I know you've been reading and researching into these things for like 2-3 years now, like intensely, before even doing the school. And that was interesting. It's kind of how I've been felt a feeling like with the healing and how I relate with my life experience and how I can help others is more in the similar lines, but more like specific with like abusive relationships and narcissists and you know, just toxic relationships in general. I feel like I can help people with those because that's all I've ever known, you know what I mean? And I had to pull myself out and away from all those. So I have a great wealth of knowledge for that. And then with the healing and kind of with what you want to do too, it made me think of my original goal for conscious evolution, what I wanted it to be, what I want it to be, what it will be, is like a umbrella place. So you know what I mean? Like you can come to conscious evolution no matter what your issue is, and there's going to be a healer, a modality, whatever that is going to apply and help you in your situation, no matter what it is, whether you're an addict needing treatment for addiction, or you know you're just mentally abused and drained, or whatever, any kind of healing. I want to build a network of healers that are easily accessible under that umbrella. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what my vision of this was when I started it.
Yeah. Right now there's toxicity like never before, as far as narcissism and and then there's, you know, a lot of people who are really borderline cult, you know, in a cult. And you know, it's crazy. It's so I was also, that's something else I was want to do, is like it's called deprogramming. It's called exit counseling, and it's what but of course a lot of those guys were kind of crazy in the way they apply their methods. But I think there's going to be a really a lot of work to be done in kind of clearing people's minds and getting them off the juice, you know. Because the networks on both sides are in overdrive, It's just changing people. It's anybody who dares to even turn that stuff on it's like smoking crack, man. It's like you put the pipe to your mouth, you're asking for it, you know. And I've watched it flip people upside down. But you know, so there's going to be a lot of that. You know, what you were talking about, the narcissistic shit, that's, you know, that's a creation. I mean, we're in a narcissistic society now because they've already done this brand consciousness to us to death. You know, it started with you guys, your young generation. I remember when my kids, they had to have Abercrombie and Finch or whatever it is. My son had to have Marshall Falk shoes. There was 130. I never paid $130 for it. I was like, oh my God. All the things they had to have to be, you know, in their click, or, you know, accepted in their tool, because commercial after commercial on TV after two, you know, makes you believe you're nothing unless you wear this. You're not cool unless you wear this. Cool. You're not, you know, whatever. So, right. So that's where it started. Well, now you've got Facebook, where people are, you know, memorializing their lives, and they're also trying to show you that they're a star and that they're fascinating, that they're incredible, and that they got a lot of money, and they, you know, so, you know, they're really, you know, people that are doing this are people that are really in a lower self-esteem place, that are trying to, you know, create this, you know, trying to get acceptance, basically. And it's unhealthy. It's just an unhealthy thing to do, because when you don't get the acceptance, you know, you're shitty. You know, you're like, I know he's on here every day and he didn't like my shit, but he's over here liking the so-and-so stuff. You know, he'd be on there. I've done it, you know, with my cousin Tim. Because I'll put pictures of my grandkids. I remember a long time ago, I jumped his ass. Why didn't you like my grandkids' picture? You know, you know, why would you care? But, you know, and I was thinking, man, that's kind of weird. Why would I do that? Why would I care if he click like on, you know what I'm saying? But stuff like that starts to control the way you think. And the way you act, and you start jumping through loops, and you're trying to, you know, be fitting in and whatever. Man, that's a lot of pressure, bro. That's a lot of pressure, because there's always somebody who's taking better pictures than you, who's going to Dubai, you know, and they're going to the Hamptons for real. And, you know, you're not going there, and neither's nobody else, you know what I mean? Best you do, you know, I'm going over here to Carmel or Noblesville or something, you know, North India, nice neighborhood, you know, but we ain't going there. But, you know, it creates this pressure, and it creates in people's minds a low self-esteem, and that's what causes a narcissistic behavior, is extremely low self-esteem, and that's caused by media just in your face telling you you're not good enough, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough, you're not good enough.
When you don't feel like you're good enough, like you are enough, you seek that from other people. So you want to put on a facade, and you want validation from others that you are enough, that you are good enough, that you are cool. And that really destroys your world when you don't get that from people. That's a tough thing.
That's why it's so important. Like, you know, we talk about meditation. Sorry to interrupt you, but we talk about meditation, going within and finding that, and trying to get into that flow state to where you're okay, and you with yourself. Not only okay with yourself, you go deeper and deeper to where you accept yourself as perfect, and you accept yourself as God's perfection, as God's light, and you were born that way. You weren't born a sinner. And when you get into that kind of a mindset, the other shit goes away. You're like, I don't care what, you know, I know I'm perfect. I'm beautiful, because you'll feel it. If you keep working at it and working at it and working at it, you'll feel perfection, and you'll feel love. And then when you feel that shit, man, that's 1,000 likes on Facebook ain't going to equal that shit. You know, you feel it, and you know, oh my God, I am part of God. I am the shit. I'm here to express what God can do. Let me do some shit. Let me show what God is capable of doing through me. You know what I mean? And that's how you operate. That's how you operate. That's how you.
That's it. We're all unique individual expressions of source, you know, and we're here to live life, to experience, to whatever your purpose is in this life, and whatever you want to do in this life, you know, with an integrity. I wanted to go back on something real quick, because we were starting to talk about the reconnection, and how you were drawn to the reconnection, how I was drawn to the reconnection. We're all drawn to it in our own way, and you were drawn to, I think, Case specifically through the Mandela effect, because that's what started
Yeah.
triggering your awakening, and he had made a video about the Mandela effect. So that's, I was just thinking like that's probably what took you back there. And then me, it was a vision. I had a vision of, you know, my hands being like balls of light, and then the next day a video of him talking about light that comes out of his hands, like just dropped my jaw to the floor, and I couldn't believe it. And we lost you. There we go. We got you back. So it's an interesting like web of entanglement, in different like a spider web of connections that are all kind of like to these central hubs of people. And then from
Yes.
there, it's kind of branched us into us talking, and then you know, with Africa, Ed and Sherry and all the other people that we've encountered through that, you know, which is this energy work in this spiritual awakening is what compelled me to start the YouTube channel, and then all the people I've
Right.
talked to through there and worked with, and those webs, it just keeps building out. You know, it's amazing.
Shout out to Ed and Sherry. Shout out to Ed and Sherry. Send them some love.
Absolutely. I know I haven't
Yeah,
really
I
much.
just talked to Ed, and he wants to maybe do something again this July.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm starting to plan a trip right now to Mount Shasta for June for
To
the second.
finalize your reconnection.
Yep. Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'm really
Good.
excited about it. I'm really excited about it. I gotta
Be
make sure
nice
I
to
get my spot though.
talk Lori into doing a little show with you.
Oh yeah.
She'll
That'd
do
be
it.
awesome. I don't think she's out there anymore though. I think she's in like San Francisco or something, which is
Oh, is she?
pretty far away.
Yeah, some people relocated this year.
Hmm. I want to. Well, she did. When I have email with Lori Ladd, and because I was planning on going to Mount Shasta when I went out there last year, 2 years ago, whenever it was, and I didn't realize how far away it was from where I was going. But I was talking because she was out there at the time, and she's like, "Well, I just moved back here, or whatever, but I know a lot of people up there that can give you like a tour of the places to go, like the vortexes and everything, where
Yeah.
the telos is and all that stuff." So that's awesome. I'm definitely reach out for that part of it, because I
Now,
want to. The reconnection training is only 2 days, so I want to go for like a week and a half. I want to get there, I want to explore, and possibly maybe even take a trip down to Sedona again just for a couple of days, because
absolutely.
it's awesome. Go see the Grand Canyon and then back to Sedona. It's kind of what I'm
And you
thinking.
said Mount Shasta's in California, right?
Yeah, Northern California. It's like a
Northern California.
hmm
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
my cousin's going out there. She was asking me about any spiritual places where she's going. I think she's going to Idaho.
who you're
So I'll tell her about it.
the one with the YouTube channel?
Lucid Dreams, yeah.
Yeah, she's been doing pretty good. She made stepping it up too with her YouTube channel. I've seen a couple videos.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, she's got like an introduction. She's got over 1,000 subs and everything. Yeah.
I think she paid for. I think she might have done something. I don't know. She was telling me about something you can do to, but I didn't know if you could get subs. I know you could get views, but I didn't know about subs.
Well, I mean, I guess if you get views, it'll lead to subs eventually.
Yeah. Huh. Cool. Yeah, I think she got her a good camera, so she may go out there and make her a good video.
That's awesome.
I usually get notices, but maybe I turn the notices off. I don't know.
You might have, or they just turned them off for you. That happens too.
Yeah. I've
happens.
been taking breaks too. I sometimes I'll just take breaks and read.
Yeah. I don't know. I watch YouTube videos in the morning if there's something that interests me. Usually if it's like Lori Ladd's been posting regularly, and Phil Good. There's two people I kind of follow and listen to just because I like hearing about these things and what other people are thinking and channeling, as well as what I'm thinking and channeling. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all very interesting. And it's usually on a similar wavelength, you know, and it's also like videos I share with other people that I know where they're at in their journey right now, and I feel it could help them with that. Like a lot of people I've been talking to are struggling with letting go. You know what I mean? Letting go of their past, letting go of that story, letting go of that trauma, that anxiety. And I really try to help to a degree. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna
Right.
put all my time and energy into it unless you're extremely open to the concepts and ways that I've healed myself through those traumas and abuses that I've been through. And most people aren't, but you know, they're starting, and I just want them to do their own research. I want them to dig into it. Here's the breadcrumb, follow it, you know. So,
Right.
and then when you follow it, you're going to show me that you're following it and you're willing to go down that road, and I'll take it a little bit further.
Right.
Is generally how I go with most people in my life. But that's interesting.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. So are you, you're talking about Ed and Sherry with this summer, you thinking like going back out to Wolf
He
Creek or
said,
something?
well, he said that Wolf Creek, he doesn't like the amenities there because that's, not, doesn't have a lot. I like that place because and he said he likes it too because of that, it is a magical place. I don't know what's up with it, but man, it's pretty cool. Kim was almost petting those fish. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was following her around.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. That
Mm-hmm.
QHHT session was killer. Um, I'm still unpacking shit from that. That was, and there's so many things in that eventually after another year or two, I'm going to do a video on that because that thing on the surface is something totally different than when you start to peel the layers back.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing, man. It was
Yeah.
very telling, and I still got a little ways to go to get that unpacked. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know if you
there
ever
was
will get it unpacked fully.
at first, yeah, well, there were some things at first, taking at face value or tongue in cheek or whatever, just wouldn't mean a lot until you've, it's no secret that I've gone down the road of, philosophy, and I'm studying all these philosophers, and I'm going way back to like a theurgic ascent. I'm talking about like, that's why I want to bring back, I want to teach metaphysics, the old metaphysics, from antiquity, from Egypt, from the
Mm.
old, Babylon, Sumerian, the
Oh my
whole,
God, yeah.
way back, because there was contacting the gods, and nobody. I slipped and fell into something, man, and had some experiences that I now, after 3 years of research and going into real deep philosophical research, have found that there's actually an answer to what happened to me. It isn't insanity, it isn't crazy. In fact, the video that I'm doing, that I'm trying to upload, that I've been telling you about, I've been trying to upload for 2 days. That's what it's about. That I
Ah.
wasn't crazy. That it's actually something that happened to me, that I just happened to at the right time. Because of my back, I abstained from sex. See, I ain't going to go into it, but I never abstained from sex. You know what I mean? I'm a bad dog, So, my back was all screwed up. I couldn't even hardly sleep in the bed. A lot of times I'd sleep on the floor, and then when it got really, really bad, I couldn't even sleep at all. All I could do was walk. I mean, I was sleepwalking, because walking, for some reason, took the tension off of that nerve. I had a sciatic nerve that had all this shrapnel from my disc and got into that canal. It was
Mm.
pushing up against that nerve, dude. It had me jacked up. But anyway, combination of that, working with reconnected frequencies. I was doing this Sri Yantra deal where I was doing these mantras, and I was doing this stream, out of stream, and I'm sitting there chanting this shit. I'm also doing this technique. It's an ancient Egyptian technique that Santos Bonacci teaches, that has to do with raising the cerebral spinal fluid during a certain time of the month when your moon is in your sun sign that you were born in. And I think I went into what's called theurgic ascent. I literally, because I went into this godlike for about a month or so. I mean, I was telling her I'm God. I am God. I mean, there was no question in my mind. And when I look back on it, it was just as real as me and you talking right here. There was no doubt, just like I don't doubt that my name's Bill. But since I've slipped out of that, but for some reason I got into that, and I was vibrating at this. and it was extremely hot. I couldn't sleep. 4 hours of sleep, I'm done. 4 hours of sleep, I'm done. 4 hours of sleep, I'd be up at 3 or 4 in the morning every morning. It was crazy. And then it went away. Then it went away. Man, ever since then, I've researched everything that has to do with psychology, that has to do with physiology, biology, chemistry, alchemist, everything that has to do with what can cause my brain, which I was a prime candidate for hallucinations and delusions because of the pain, because I suffered PTSD from, a violent childhood, from the stressors that was going on in my life at the time, from everything from the Mandela effect to dealing with my mom to my sister I had all these things going on. So every time I would look into something, it's like, oh yeah, that was happening to me. So yeah, maybe I was hallucinating. But when I would look deeper into the other side effects, go deeper into it, and never added up. It never added up until I stumbled across, where's this book? It's up there. It's called Philosophy and Theurgy. It's deep shit. Deep. It takes 2 or 3 years of just gathering the tools to even wrap your mind around the this book. I mean, it's something, but it. I found the answers, dude. I found the answers, and there's magic in this book. I'm going to put that in another video. There's something else about it, but yeah, it's magic, dude. It's real magic. There's magic is real. Magic is real. Mysticism and magic is real. You can make things happen. You can move into different dimensions. It takes practice. It takes a lot of manipulation of Siemens chemicals, crystals, which is CSV, cerebral spinal fluid, CSF. Also, serotonin, melatonin. You're also manipulating these chemicals. You're also manipulating in the pineal gland the secretion. It's like the DMT molecule. It's actually, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And by manipulating all these, and see your life force energy, your semen, dude. I'm telling you right now, sex energy, sexual energy, that magic, that energy, life force, it's called life force energy.
Yes.
It is the answer. It's the shit. I don't know everything yet, but I know that I'm on the right path. I know that I'm on the right path.
That's interesting, because I recently kind of fell into that subject of sex magic. I actually got this deck of tarot cards for Christmas or my birthday or something. Tarot Sexual Magic, which is really interesting. But yeah, like a lot of the yogis and a lot of people practicing spiritual concepts or manifestation or whatever healing, a lot of them will talk about like either semen retention or the use of sex as magic, because in the other cultures and ancient cultures called the orgasm for a male as a mini death, because you're just excreting that life force, you know what I mean? And for a guy, it takes 3 days. Like that affects you for 3 days afterwards, and then for the next 17 days before you, because that your body expels, builds up all this energy and just, and then for a man, it's just you just kind of like, that's why you're so relaxed afterwards, because you just expelled so much energy, and then it takes time to rebuild that energy and then build it back up, and then like the whole cycle is 17 days from one orgasm, which is,
I can tell you this: 90% of the most successful people you see that are go-getters, from time when they go to bed, they got their hands in everything, and they have done nothing but build wealth, fame, fortune. Every one of those guys know about semen retention. Every one of them know about abstinence from sex. Because I'm telling you right now, as a man, if you want to be a baller, if you want to be a shot caller, that's why I can't hardly get shit done, because you got to abstain from sex, man. I would own the world, you know what I mean, right now.
Right?
About semen retention, man. Poor Kim, for 40 years, we just celebrated our 40th anniversary.
Wow.
40 years of chasing that poor girl around, man. But luckily enough, she's finally got to the age where she lets me catch her now.
That's awesome.
Just too much information. But anyway,
You guys
there
are
is, when you
adorable.
talk about semen retention, there's a sexual practice that the Indians do and there's like a position that you get into, but I guess you still have the orgasm, but you don't ejaculate, if that makes any sense. The semen doesn't come out. You still have this experience, but you have to retain it and come close to it and come close to it and stop it, come close to it and stop it. But then you acquire this like bliss state, this super extreme high conscious state, if you can just learn how to retain that shit.
all the energy is there. It all is manifesting, and then especially if you're with someone else of a like energy, that's why you really do have to be cautious of who you're sleeping with too, because if they don't match your energy, that can really pull that energy out of you.
Take your energy,
and you take on their traumas too. You know what I mean? So you're bonding energetically, emotionally, physically. It's more than just like sex. To me, it was just sex, and I just wanted to do it as much as possible with as many people as possible. When I was younger, that's all I wanted to do. Through high school, through college, and all that. But now it's like like it has to meet these levels of criteria for me. Energetically feel good. I have to be okay with taking on your traumas and things like that. And I'm pretty good about like not taking on other people's shit, but you still do. You can't help it. You kind of.
Well, you're intermingling your energies.
Yeah.
You're intermingling energies, and then you're doing it in sexual way, which is the most. That's the most energetic force. The most. It's like welding. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like high voltage, man.
It is.
It's
the battery effect.
It's extremely, extremely high energy, high frequency, intermingling, and can be very effective. Very effective. That's why I think a lot of women. I don't think it so much has to do with emotion, but I think that once they have sex with you, a lot of people think they become attached because psychologically and sometimes that might be the case.
It's chemically, psychologically, biologically.
There was something that they felt that you want that, again. It's something your body hasn't felt. This energy. Sex energy.
And women are biologically programmed to like when.
We shouldn't be talking about women. I have a
feeling it's really interesting. You know what? I'll instead of talking about it, I'm gonna put a link, if I remember, to this podcast I listened to, and it was all about sex and the energy with it. It was so freaking interesting to me. But like the scientific studies of like the men and women and their reaction or their the chemical changes that take place in their bodies and you have sex, when you reach orgasm or whatever it is really, really interesting. I'll try to link that below. And I was just glued to
there's not a lot.
Fascinating.
And the sad thing is there's not a lot of real good valid information. I mean, there's some, but sex is one of those you get into the primal chakras, and people become primal. And so some of the people that would practice or do some of these things either became corrupted by the sex itself or the relationships or the power or whatever they would have. So it's hard to get real good information, but it's there, and it's a very powerful thing that should be taken very seriously. If somebody really wanted to transmute very seriously wanted to transmute from one thing to another, you can literally change, if you learn the process.
And if there's if you have like an evil spirit, so to speak, or some kind of haunting or an impression in the crystalline grid structure that's holding that energy, that something like bad happened, if you make love in that space, it'll clear it. You know what I mean? Like, because that energy will trump it, and then you're imprinting that into the crystalline grid structure of the planet. You know,
Dig it.
and, funny enough, Cryon was the one that said that.
Right. That's crazy. Is he still making videos too?
Oh yeah, yeah. They meet
And Bashar?
once a month. He puts out a video, and they're doing a healing circle of 12 now. It's really interesting.
Huh.
But they move more towards like you pay to subscribe for the weekly sessions, and they do one free one a month where they
Huh.
have different people and kind of just interview them about what they're doing. You know, people that are either discovering new things or have huge impacts in the world of like science meets metaphysics. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's
Right.
bridging those gaps and what's
Yeah,
real
they're being
proven to be
bridged.
real now. Yeah,
Yeah, we're in an awesome place in time
yeah.
right now.
Oh my God, it's amazing. And that's really all I want to take in is information. It is spiritual metaphysical concepts and how science meets that, and
Right.
how it's melding together. You know, because science is more proving God, proving the spiritual aspects of these things, of higher realms of manifestation, of how shit works in this reality. And it's
Right.
really fascinating, but you're not going to find it on mainstream media, so you have to dig
Yeah.
deep. Yeah.
Right.
But there's some mainstream people now, like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden. All three of them are really like pioneers in this space, and they're really doing a lot. Even Dr. Eric Pearl is doing a lot of research on these energies, and these energies are continuously evolving as more and more
Part of
people get into it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's part of conscious evolution, man. It's part
Yeah.
of There's another video I'm making called Conscious Evolution is about divine timing. Isn't that a tricky little play on words?
That is.
That's what I was gonna
Really
do.
interesting.
Uh, Coattail
Yeah.
of both you guys' channels. Is that channel still up?
I don't think so.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
anyway, so check this out. Uh, you know, as one person consciously learns something, it is immediately accessible by several other people because now it's in the Akashic immediately.
Yeah. It's in
That
the
happened with piano, with everything, inventions, piano, singing, just you name it. Once one guy jumped over the pole vault or whatever, went 6 foot, the next guy came along just like that,
Yeah.
6'1",
It's like
like
the
it was
5 minute
nothing.
mile.
6'3", the next guy. Once you get past, and what it is we have psychological barriers that we all tell ourselves. We're like, no, nobody's ever. We'll tell each other, well, have you ever seen a guy run so and so in a mile? And say, no, that can't be done. We've never seen anybody do it. So everybody tells everybody this. We
Yeah.
all believe
Can't be
this.
done.
One day, the guy doesn't listen, and he never heard this, right? Because he lives in Zimbabwe. You know what I mean? He doesn't speak our language. This dude flat out runs it. Everybody looks and they're like, oh my God, now the American dude's doing it. So conscious evolution is the exact same way. What we're coming into, this quantum physics, once somebody got onto this, once this was attached onto 3 or 4 other people, boom, it became so clear to them. And it's just going to grow and grow. But here's the thing, there's my point, is we're not even close. I mean, dude, it's like we've opened the door. Here's where we're at. We opened the door, and 2 or 3 miles, we see a light down there, and we think, there it is. There it is. There's that light. We're all looking at it right here. We're standing right here. That thing is, we haven't went towards it yet. We don't even know. Now that we know what we know, we have no idea what we're going to find out. Just what we're capable of, especially right here, man. When you realize this whole experience, I'm telling you, it's not real. I wish I could somehow prove to people that this is all just an experience and that this is not real. But I've had 3 or 4 different episodes where I know this is all just our minds. It's all it is. It's all of us. This whole thing is a programmed experience in our head, and we're just going through it. It's fascinating. You really know what's really happening. So once we get to these certain levels of understanding, as long as we stay off the TV, as long as we can continue to, you know, use episteme as our guide, you know, use knowledge as our guide, because that's philosophy. That's where you want to go, because that combines with your mind, and your mind is what controls the alchemical process in your body, which teaches, you know, once you learn how to use your body as a machine, you can astral travel, astral project, use telekinesis, telecommunicate, or audio voice, clairvoyance, manipulate things, manipulate energy. You know, we can do it all, man. We don't know where we're at. We're just right here, like I said, just open that door. We see the light. Because now we know. Now we know finally that we are in control of this shit, and that the possibilities are endless. All we have to do is think of it, and we can achieve it. That changes the whole game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I do it daily, and I it starts with an idea, a desire, what you want to do, and you set to that. You know what I mean? This is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm gonna do, and this is just it's just gonna happen. So I
Yeah.
just speak it into existence, and I continuously to take action towards that goal. And I mean, you know, when I first started in the spiritual awakening, I was literally thinking that you could just like manifest a Lamborghini by meditating all the time. And it doesn't happen that way. You know what I mean? You do have to take
Yeah.
action steps in the physical world, but the more you set it up mentally, emotionally, and energetically, and take action towards that goal, the faster it'll come to you with ease and speed and grace if you just allow it. You just trust. Yeah, like I just trust the universe so much. I trust my guides. I trust my angel. I trust source. I trust it
You
so
have
much
to.
that when I
Yes.
speak it, I know it's going to happen. I don't know when, I don't know how, and I don't put restrictions on that. But I just know it is, and I'm going to take a little bit of a step towards it every single day, whether it's
Right.
speaking it to myself in the morning in the mirror, like I every day, every single day without fail. I'm
Yeah.
speaking it into existence, and then I let it go for the rest of the day. I don't know how it's going to happen. I just know I'm doing this today to get one step closer to what I desire. And that's
Right.
my life has changed so much in the last year. I mean, in 2019, I traveled the country. I manifested that, you know, whole experience, which was on the back of a lot of trauma and unhealthy and toxic relationships that got out of that, and found a way to traverse the country and back, you know, with
Right.
very, very little
Yeah.
money. And
Yeah.
I just trusted it was going to
Came
work.
back with a new car.
Yeah.
He came back with a new car.
Yeah. Brand new car, had no money. You know, I went to California, Sedona. I was all over the place, and that was a life-changing experience in itself. And I had no idea where I was going, what I was doing, how I was getting there. I just knew I was going, and I just knew and trusted. And I mean, so much random synchronicities happened at the perfect time. Like I can't even describe to you. Yes, subscribe to Bonezee. The link's below. Subscribe to this channel. The link's below. Yeah, it's actually almost been an hour, so
Let's do it.
let's go ahead and wrap
We
it up.
gotta
Yeah,
get
you're
going.
freaking magical. You have more power than you realize, and if you know you have power, you have even more power than that. This is a magical existence, and we love you guys so much. Thank you for joining us here today. Please like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned. Bonesy's ramping up and gearing up to get some more videos out. All he's got to do is get the you know, what do they call
Now
it?
get them downloaded.
Get the internet, you know.
Yeah. I'm going to my son's. I'm taking my laptop to my son's. I'm going to do it the old dinosaur way instead of the modern, like you kids do it. Get internet to your house. Get it in your house.
Yeah. Get Wi-Fi. It's $60 a month, dude.
Yeah. I think I might. I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah. It's a big difference. It
Yep.
saves a lot of time for real. But
Yep. No
anyways,
kidding.
yes, everyone, we love you. be the change that you want to see. Definitely subscribe to Bonezee's channel. Stay tuned. I'm really looking forward to what he's going to be talking about and coming up with in the near future. And congratulations on your accomplishment, man. That is super.
Thank
I'm
you.
super proud of you, and
Thank you, brother.
kind of like a role model. And you'll see my introduction to the video when I upload it. So I love you, man. I love all you guys. Thanks for watching.
You too, brother.
If you're still here, leave a comment, and we'll talk at you.
And I love all you guys, but the ones that stuck around, however, the couple that did, I really love you.
Yeah, we really love you. We love you the most. You guys are the gooder.
You crazy.
Crazy
like us.
Crazy asses. That's fantastic. We definitely love you. I know a handful of people are still going to be watching, so we definitely love you. All right. Be the change you want to see. Peace.